everybody. Hope you're having a great day today and you're ready to do a little bit of creating. I've been thinking, again, spring, summer. We got a snowstorm yesterday. And I'm so tired of the snow. Oh, it made me grumpy, really. It did. So I had this. These are one of my licensed drawings that I have, and I thought I would do this in acrylic. Now it can be done in watercolor too. There is a drawing for this, traceable for all my members on YouTube and Patreon, and you can find that in your community page or on Patreon on the main channel page. You can also on Patreon, if you click on traceables, it'll be right in there, or on your own group, which is either artistic seedlings, blooming artists, budding artists, and you'll see them there also. Very easy to navigate around Patreon. So I thought I'm going to stick to the colors. And today I'm going to do a little bit different, and I'm actually going to use a canvas. And this canvas is going to be, this is a board canvas, and it's 6x8. I got these on Amazon. Pretty inexpensive. Not bad as far as, I just got paint on it. As the texture isn't too deep. I always put a coat of gesso on it anyway, so if you want to do a canvas, so it's a little bit, this picture is bigger than the canvas, but you can scale it down to, if you're printing yours out, to whatever canvas size you want. So I'm just going to have this up in front of me, and I am not going to trace it on because I didn't scale mine down. But you can, this is a very simple one, so you could probably do this without having to trace even. So I'm gonna keep the background white. I like this, very simple, and we're going to basically do the same type of colors I have here. So I'm gonna want a nice shade of olive green, maybe even a little bit of Payne's gray and green, titanium white. Let's see, I think I have a there's a yellow, so let me get my colors out here. I should have done this, but I was running behind. Sorry about that. Sap green will do. You can also make an olive green with putting a little bit of umber in your color, or red with your green, and it'll give it more of an olive to it. All right, so not too many colors. Also, you want an umber. So this is burnt umber here for the wood and that type of thing. And there is a little pink lemonade there. So we'll add a little bit of red to our palette also. Any red will do because we're going to pink it up anyways. Hey Darlene, good to see you. So I'm just using these takeout lids containers. I love them. I just peel the paint off when it gets too heavy. So we're going to want, this is a cadmium red, cadmium yellow, medium hue. But you can use whatever yellow you have. And titanium white. Use up your paints. I have a ton of paint that has to be used up. This is Acrylics. I'm thinking of doing myself painting for my wall. Isn't it funny? You always make everybody else paintings, but never yourself. That's the way I work. That with stained glass too. Had very little stained glass, a few lamps. That was about it. Not gonna want to screw on there. I don't like these lids. Little Payne's Gray. Just a smidgen. Just for darkening, that type of thing. My greens. Or I could mix it in with the umber color also. And a little pile red. Not much, just for that one area. And I think that's about it. So those are our colors. And I'll keep a tray here for mixing. I need to mix some lighter colors, don't want to mess up some colors. Put that over there for now. And I also have some markers set out. These are the Posca Uni, and these are the 0.7 millimeter. I already put a coat of gesso on my board here. As far as brushes, I think I'm going to use some flats. So I'm going to have some flats here. And maybe a couple different sizes. I want a, let's see, maybe this one. Liner brush. I might switch out some stuff. I also have a filbert here. Those are nice to work with. I like a chiseled edge to mine. Okay. And also to make my foliage and stuff like that, I have this one here. This is the Terry Harrison Foliage PX. They're nice. Hi, Sandra, good to see you. So this is what we're doing today. I have the traceable for all the members. You remember? And I'm not going to put my drawing on here. So right now I'm going to just do the background tree. So it's very soft. This is a watercolor type of painting, but you can do it in whatever you want. So I'm going to kind of keep it soft looking too. So I'll be adding a little bit of glazes to my mix and trying to keep it soft. So let's see. I'm going to use this brush here. I'm going to wet it. Or maybe I should have a softer one. I think I might softer one. This one is a Terry Harrison Golden Lizard. I love these brushes. They're so great. They're great for acrylics and for watercolor. Just make sure you do wash them out right after you are finished your painting with soap and water to keep them nice and clean and they won't lose their shape. So, oh yes, I'm going to put a little bit of glazing medium. Is anyone having a hard time hearing? There, is that better? Silly me, I forgot to put my headset on. Is that better, Dar? Hey, Dorothy. Perfect? Okay. Sorry. All right. So we're going to start off with the top of the tree. So this is our top of the tree here. And I'm not putting mine in. I'm not using my traceable. Oh yeah, I was putting that. Kind of scatterbrain today. Must be the weather. Don't need a lot. This goes a long way. And I'm going to add a little bit of that sap green. I want it nice and light. And then I'm just going to dab around. It takes up about half of the, it's almost watery. You could add a lot of water to your mix. Just dabbing. I even like those brush marks. I'm eating Java cake and cappuccino. Oh, are you out with your niece? Somebody spoiling you again. Now I'm going to add a little bit of yellow, more white, a little bit. And I'm going to add that to the little bits of this in here. Just mix it up along the edges. There might be a little bit of light airiness to it. Then you can take a wet brush too and soften those edges. Just like that. You can even take off if you want. I'm going to take a little bit off here just with my paper towel. Like that. And now I'm going to add a little bit more green to that mix. So back and forth, a little bit more. So it's darker. And it's going to be a darker right in here. And it's still wet on my board. Okay. And a little bit of Payne's Gray to that mix darken it even more right in the center here. It's really dark. And just along the bottom. I'm not too worried about the inside of here because it's going to be covered. But along the edge, I do want some of this. Just down there. Now, to soften that area, you can take a nice soft brush and just wisp. Just barely touch it. Barely touch. And then it just softens those brush marks if you don't want them. Okay, just wipe it off. Okay. So while that's drying, we could put in the stand part of the cart or whatever it is. And this is going to be done in a really soft buff color. If you have buff, you can use that too. And I'm going to use probably a bigger brush because I just want to cover an area all basically in one color. Let's see, get a bigger brush here. Preferably a flat. Where did I put my flats? I'm pretty sure. Oh, there it is. That one, or is there another one? I'll use this one, I guess. So I'm going to make up some white here. A little yellow in there. And a little bit, a little blue and a little red. I want it to go kind of a brown color. So the three primaries will give you a brownish color. And then just mix in more white to lighten it. There. Okay. Now we'll just add this. Let's see. We have the thing goes there to about here. And then I'm just going to put these lines down to represent the poles so I know where they would be. And they're fairly long. About like that. And then just past that a little bit, not much, but a little bit past the pole is the top of the table part, the bar, I guess you call it. And then down here is the cart. Now my cart is going to be a little bit smaller than what is on the picture. I suppose I could go up here a little bit taller. I'll bring that up. We can always fix that. Like that. Put a little bit of glazing medium on, just so that it glides, gets into those crevices a little bit. A little bit more white in there for the center area. Just want a little lighter in there. Just keep adding, because that's where the sign is. Like that. Just make sure that your edges are nice and straight. All right. Now I'm going to take a little bit. Oh, I did put out some here. There's some burnt umber. I just forgot I had it out. Just need a little dab. And I've got a smaller brush here, a flat. Just dipping it in the brown here with a little bit of matte medium on it. Or not matte medium, glazing medium. I keep saying matte medium. And then, let's see, we're going to make that's our table. Just using the very tip of my and then the very bottom has also a piece of wood on it. It's pretty much the size of my brush here. And you want it kind of streaky looking anyways, just to give that old wood look. Put your initial color on. And then we'll spruce it up. Now there is a little foot here, or leg of a, there's a tiny one right there. And let's see, a little one right about here. And then the wheel. So there is a little bit of a gray tinge on the top too. So I can put a little bit of matte medium, or not, glazing medium with a little bit of Payne's gray. And just at the top here, put a little bit of that in over top. Okay. This is going to be a very quick one. So let's dry that. Oh, wait a minute. Let's fix up the edges. So this is just white. So you can just fix up the edges. you went past anywhere. Like that. Hey, Kim. Okay, and now we can dry it. All right. Now I'm going to take probably the same, this one here, flat. I think this is what, a number 8. It's got paint on it. I think it's 8. Hey, Dar. You're getting into the painting again? Awesome. Okay, so let's put on, now I'm going to use this titanium white, and we're going to put on our cute little, yeah, actually I'm going to use for this here, I'm going to just draw it on with paint. So this lines up. So if you notice, the edge of this lines up almost with the edge of this. Just a little bit past. So it'll be about, and it's up a little bit because I want some of those leaves and stuff showing underneath. And then it goes on a bit of an angle. So kind of about, not that tall, about there. So, and then across. Like that. And then kind of swoops up, shorter swoop, and then it swoops down again. It's kind of uneven. You can make yours as however you want. There's no real wrong way. Like that. And then right across, I'm going to and I can always change this. Yeah, I think I need it longer. So let's put a little bit longer, a little bit more. Because So we'll just play with it until we like it. All right, like that. You could use a Posca if you wanted to. Okay. Like that. So that's going to be the little, why can't I think of the name? Umbrella? No, not umbrella. And I'm going to put a coat of white on because yellow is very transparent. Canopy, thank you. I have spring brain. My tulips are coming up, even though they're covered with snow at the moment because we had a snowstorm yesterday. But they're up. And that makes me happy. This winter, I know a lot of you haven't had much snow, but oh my gosh, we didn't have the cold. So I guess I should be grateful. Not like last year. Last year was frigid cold, but not this year. So I'm just going to put this on. So I'll be able to put the yellow on thickly. And it'll be yellow instead of turning a green because you'd see the green behind it. But I am so ready for spring. And I know every year I say the same thing. Most people do because they're so tired of the winter. It just seems like March is so mean. Well, even parts of April too. Depends where you live, but here we've had snow in April too. So I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that it won't. We'll have a nice, normal spring and not something mean. Well, me too. Spring, yeah. Need to plant a kite and say, go fly one. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. And while we should tackle this circle. So I have a template here. I think these are Fiskars. Yeah, it's a Fiskars. It might be discontinued now. This is old. Very, very old. Let's see, that one looks to be about right. So I am going to take my maybe a brown. I'm going to get a brown Posca marker. This is dry. Okay. Just move this up here. And it's over. It's a little bit big, but I'm going to use it. Let's see. over a little bit. So I think that one would be too. Well, I guess you could, but I think it needs to be a little bigger. So let's use the big one. It'd look cute. And we can always lower those little legs. Okay, so I'm just going to put the rim on. Like that. And I would say it's about there. It's where the center point would be. And a little bit of a ring around. And then I can see the lines on my thing here. So that kind of helps. So you want to kind of make them as even as possible. You can put in whatever number you want. I'm not too worried about it. I think if I put an additional one in, it'd be kind of a bit much. So I'm going to leave it at that. And let's dry it. Left circle is rear wheel and larger. Okay. Now you can find another Posca lighter than this if you wanted to. I'm just going to use my script liner here. It's a short script liner. And just paint some umber and white here. A little bit of water on my brush. A bit darker. And just make this a little bit bigger now. What's that? So, just even this out. Just take your time. And if it's gone all wonky on you, you can take a wet paper towel or a baby wipe and just remove it again and do it over again. Or if it's dried on you, just get your white out again, gesso, and paint over it. I'm not too worried about it. I want it a little thicker. Okay. Then a little more umber on my, a little bit thicker.
can be a little bit patchy looking too, because this is basically a wood, like a wagon wheel. Okay, and then a little bit of that light color again. Let's put the spokes in. Too much water on my brush. These can be lighter. You could do this with your Poscas too. But if you don't have Posca or acrylic paint pens, then just get out a liner brush. It's good practice anyways. That. And center is a little bit darker. Some of these are going to be a little darker. You can add some light ones and some dark ones. Might be a little bit darker underneath on the top ones because it's got a little bit of shade. Just mix them up. A little bit of white. Center here. Like that. And I'm going to take my flat again. Same colors that I'm using here. And underneath here is a little bit of a wood area. About the same width as the piece that's down below. So you paint that in. Can mix up the colors a little bit. I need to see the inspiring. This one? Take a screenshot. A little bit lighter in the center, so I just added a little bit of white paint to my dirty brush. Just mixing it into that brown. My husband made wood wheels in a factory when he was young. Hoops Brothers. Cool. And then there's very, very thin layer or thin line underneath. I'm going to probably have to use my Posca for that. I'm going to add a little bit of white to this side here on the top part of the bar. A bit of white. And then a little bit of that umber color again. I'm going to mix a little bit of Payne's Gray with it this time, just to darken it. I want it fairly dark brown. And mix a bit of glazing medium with it. And it's fairly dark right on the edge here. Under here, just along the edge, it's kind of old and worn. Like that. A little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to take a heat gun and dry that up. When you use glazing medium, your paint takes a lot longer to dry. Okay. Now, we have a little bit of that also on the bottom part. So that mix the umber and the Payne's Gray just to darken it. Glazing medium. So a little bit right here. That. I'm going to put some more on here. I'm just using the very tip of my brush. Just putting in that shadow. You can rough it up a little bit. When it starts to go a little bit on the dry side on your brush, there's not much paint, then you can use it as dry brushing. It gives it a nice wood effect. And I'm going to put a little bit on that wheel here and there. Same color. So wherever you think you might see some shadow. Just gingerly play with it. You can always go back and fix it by adding more brown. And then also this, let's see, this one would have a little bit of shadow. And this one would be darker, a little bit of a shadow on it. And the spokes, you can add a little bit here and there. Make some more up. You want a really good, sharp, chiseled edge, though. Ah. Okay, so it's very, very, doesn't have a lot of color. I'm going to just touch up this white again in here. So I want a fairly clean edge there. Although the tree will be going in there too. We can also take some of that dark and put it in the pole. So that dark is actually in the pole. And it's in shadow, so that's why it's so dark looking. So right up in here. Okay, I'm going to take my small round again and add a little bit of that other brown. I'm going to mix a little bit with it. A bit of white. That. Cute. And some of the dark, I'm just going to use it for in here. So where that center part of the wheel be darker. Just want to use a little bit. So it would be a little darker. Okay. Looks good. All right, let's play with some yellow now. Try my number 8 flat. Is it a number 8? Yeah. And I'm going to get another mixing tray here because I want this to stay nice and clean looking. So I got the cadmium yellow, medium, and white. Nice color. Okay. And the whole, pretty well the whole down part, the hanging part is yellow. So you can put that in and we'll just do it one color for now. And then we'll add shadows and highlights later. Just want to get that initial color in there. That you might have to go in again after that dries, but now the center is right here. So we can put one line down in the center. And then we have one a little bit on an angle right here. And this one's got a little bit of an angle. Take some of this off my brush. And then follow your lines. They get a little bit smaller. A little wider on the end. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And let's see, what else can we do here? I'm going to take my filbert. While that's drying, let's play with some leaf shapes in the bottom here. So we want that sap green again. A little bit of white. Glazing medium. You want it fairly light. And we'll just tip. Oh yes, drive it. Oh, okay. So now we want to just put in some of these leaves. And I'm just going to use the shape of my brush to make the leaves. And you can add a little bit of different colors by adding a little more yellow. So we'll put that sign in. Maybe even a little darker in the background. I'm not really following the picture. You can make yours up or you can follow it completely. It's up to you. I'm putting the leaves in first and then I'll put in the lemons. Let's put some dark in here. Go around the just kind of painting around the spokes of the wheel. I'm not too worried about it. You can do whatever you want to do. Like that. And while we're at it, we can do that same thing with the leaves just underneath the canopy here. Some leaves hanging. Too much water on my brush. Bit of white. Change it up by adding either yellow or white. Maybe darker underneath as you go darker. Should go darker as you get underneath here. We can put some darker ones in there under the canopy. So just adding that sap green mostly onto my like that. Okay, with our liner brush, let's take that umber again with some white, glazing medium. And I'm going to make my tree. So the tree is kind of in here. It's kind of gnarly looking. It's a limb, trunk. I don't know what lemon trees look like. Dara, you probably do. little darker on the top in here. A little bit shaded. We can do that later too. You don't have to do it now. And then it comes up here and it's more on the white side. I leave that up to you. You can do whatever color you want. So we have kind of branching going on here. Lemon tear shaped, shiny in threes like roses. Oh, cool. I'm just making mine up. You could use a Posca for the fine lines too. That. Maybe a little bit of brown here and there. You could take your Poscas too and make it. Let that dry. I have a baby lemon tree. Awesome. Must be nice just to go out and pick them. Grapefruits, lemons, that type of thing. Oh, it'd be nice. All right, let's put some actual lemons. So I'm just going to use the shape of my brush. This is a filbert brush. And taking this, and we're just going to add a little bit more weight to that. And we could just throw on some lemons here. Generic lemons. Maybe there's some in here. You can go back once these dry and brighten them up if you have to. Cool. You love generic. It's in the eye of the beholder, right? What they want it to be. Let's do some more white here. Where did I put it? I'm going to just put it on there here. Okay. Titanium white. A little bit thicker. I'm just going to go in here and paint these up. And a little bit of glazing medium on my brush. just fix these up so they're not as transparent looking. So cute. How many of you, when you're a young kid, made a lemonade stand? I didn't, but my kids did. I can remember my youngest son, he also had a berry stand. So him and I would go out early in the morning to the berry fields that weren't that far from us. And he would pick all kinds. That's when berries were cheap back then. And then he would set up his stand in front of the house and he would sell the berries. It was so cute. Okay, and then I can go back and do the same thing. I'm going to take my liner brush though, and I'm going to make mine a little bit deeper color and just go over these a little bit so that they're a little bit more opaque looking. Yeah, when my son, my youngest, would sell the berries, he would make a killing out of it because everyone would stop because he was so darn cute. He was the cutest little boy. Well, he's still a good-looking man now, but he, oh, he was like a cherub. He looked like a cherub, and his he had blonde, tight, curly hair, huge, big brown eyes, and dimples. And you can't resist dimples, right? Oh my gosh, he was so cute. I was surprised that he actually did that because he was a very shy kid. Just darkening these up a little bit. And I can add a little bit of more of a yellow to that too. Like that. Just brightens them up a little bit. Now I'm going to take, actually I'm going to wait. I was going to take some more darker colors, but I'll wait till those are dry. So let's do these little containers, these glasses, and I'm just taking, let's see, the same brush. And we have that light color. And it's just right here on the one end. Like that. We'll just put a simple coat on for now. We'll go back over and darken it later. And then there's a little glass here. Like that. And then a nice tall glass. That. Okay. Hey, Joan. Oh, you got some new stencils out. Awesome. So if anyone wants new stencils, Joan in chat has them. Zandra, can you put a link in where you can get them? That would be great. I'm going to put a little white, a little bit of Payne's Gray. I'm going to mix. It's kind of a grayish color, this little pot of I don't know what is mint, maybe. Would you have mint in your lemonade? I don't know. And then there's this little dome. I'm going to actually use my filbert for this. There's a little dome over top of that. Like that. I'm going to use my small round. It's a little easier. Thanks, Sandra. So check out Joan's stencils. They are not out yet, Kathy. Sherry and Patty are working on a date. Okay, but you do have a bunch of your other ones in there, so check those out. New ones are coming. That's great. I'm just going to clean up the edge here. And then there's a little bottom that's more on the lighter side there. Same with here on the glass. It's a little bit kind of grayish white on the glass bottom because it's the thickness of the glass base. And it appears to be more. And you can do that on the top here too, where the and then straws. So we have straw here, just a little line. Make some more of that up. And one here, shorter one, like that. A little doohickey on the top here, knob, like that. Little, oh, I forgot pink lemonade. Let's do that. Okay, so we'll use that brush again. So a little bit of white, red, some white, and we'll make a pink lemonade. That. Hi, Caroline. Carolyn. Hey, Kathy, I got so excited when I received notification of this tutorial. I have been looking for a lemon project to do for my cousin. She is going to love it. Awesome. It's fun. You can make it whatever size you want. There is a traceable for all members. So if you want to just get traceable, it's only $2.99 a month, $2.99. And you get all the traceables from the past. You can go on Patreon or YouTube. The links are in the description. You want a lemonade? Soon, Dot, soon. Soon. It'll be so nice. Can't wait. Next week, we're supposed to have double digit. So I think next Wednesday, it's going to be 18 here. That's crazy. The only thing about that, it's nice for the day, as long as it doesn't stay that way, because we're still going to get frost. So if it gets too warm, the plants come up too fast, and then what happens is they get slammed by a frost. All right. So then I'll take my little one again. This is kind of fiddly work, but I like doing it. And a little bit of white again. And then we can just lighten some areas in the center of this post, for instance. Might be a little bit whiter. Let's see. I think I need a little bit more white. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. There. Okay, a little bit of white. Right in here. Pure white. And right across the top. And then there's a little bit of white along the edge of these. And in the center. Now you can take a Posca. I might just do that. Let's put some ice cubes in. I'm going to put white in here just to probably go back over that with some yellow. It was still showing those, although you would see a bit of that. Okay, I think this is, I don't know, some kind of crushed ice maybe? Could be. And then a little bit white. And then some more white. Right in here, there's some streaks. Actually, there's some, take some of the water off my brush. There's some white areas coming down in here. And across this. In here. Like that. These are so small. Oh, can I zoom in? I sure can. That better? Want me more? Just let me know. More? I'll just have to remember to move the picture around a bit. Okay, the white too, I'm going to use a little bit of glazing medium and white on my liner brush. And there's a little bit of I don't know if it's highlight or they have a trim on their canopy here, but we're putting some in. Like that. glazing medium just helps the paint flow off your brush a little bit easier. Let's just put some up there. Just to fix that up a little bit. Cute. Okay, so with these glass here, I want them a little bit more bright. So I'm just going to use the plain cadmium. But because we have already a bit of white in our initial coat, we can add some plain yellow now, and it'll brighten some of this up. Just gives it a little bit of more pop, so to speak. Like that. And then a little bit of the Payne's Gray on my brush. This is a very light coat here. And what I'm going to do is add a little line underneath the lid here. Actually, got too much. Just tap. There's a little bit of a shadow. Like that. Same with the bottom here. There's a little bit of a shadow underneath. Same with here. There's a little bit of a shadow there. So you can put those in. This is kind of a can of some sort. It's got some shadowing in the side here. A little bit there, just to show the shape. Like that. Maybe even the straws could be a little darker. That. Straw there. That. I didn't put one thing in here, but I don't think it's too much of a miss. A little bit of shadow in there. That. Same with here along the bottom. A bit on the glass here. A little bit of, it's almost dry brushing what I'm doing, but it gives it a little bit more dimension when you put a little bit of shadow in there. I'm going to add a tiny bit more blue to my brush. That's a Payne's gray I'm using. Okay. And then it's kind of, I'm not sure what it is. What would you be using herb-wise in a lemonade? Not sure. Let's add some white, green. The only thing I can think of is mint. So I'm just going to dab a bunch of little dots. And maybe change it up a little. You can add a little bit darker in the center. Bring it over the side, maybe a little bit. Like that. Okay. So let's do the oranges on the cart. Some white. Probably want to do a white area first. So there's 1, 2, 3 lemons. I don't know. We'll see. Get 3 in here. I'm just making balls. And there's 1 big lemon there. And then there's, I might have to just squeeze 1 in here. I should have put these in before the wheel. So if you're just watching this first, put your lemons in before your wheel. Okay, a little bit a little more cadmium on my brush, and then I'm just gonna put in that yellow in here. And then once this is dry, we'll come in with a Posca and do a little bit of the detail. Oh, thanks, Marty. Hi, by the way. Hi, Shaz. All right, so we'll let that dry. I think up here, I'm going to put a few more leaves in, right in here. So we'll just take greens, yellows, whites. And here and there. You can change them up by adding white or just gives it a little bit nicer look. Doesn't have to be really vibrant or anything, but I kind of like the look of it. Here and there, just to represent leaves. I think it needed it, but you do whatever you feel is right. It looks delicious. Yeah, doesn't it? Okay, so the canopy needs a little bit of fixing up here. Needs some shadows, so I'm going to take some of this yellow, maybe a little bit of brown. Some glazing medium. And we have a line that goes kind of underneath here. It's kind of where the rod would be. Like that. And even on this part, the top of this. Just sweep it down. It's a glazing, so you don't have to have a lot on your brush. It just gives that a little bit more detail. So there'd be a little bit right there. A little more here and there. Maybe it's flapping in the wind. And then also on the top part, leave a little space. Where that rod would be. Like that. And I just clean my brush, and you can, before it's dry, you can just go over it and blend it in a little bit. It's just with a damp brush, preferably no dog hair. Okay. And then you can do the same as far as highlights. You just take your white and you can go over certain areas you might think that are popping out a little bit. Maybe on the very bottom here, be a little bit lighter. It's very, very minimal, but it does make a difference when you just add these little touches. It's what gives your painting dimension and a little bit of a realistic look. Okay, so I'd have a little bit of a lighter area on the top part of this where the rod would be going through. Right in there. If you want, you could use Posca and then just take a wet brush and go back over top of it before it's dry. to smudge it a bit. I'm going to put a little bit in here, there. Cute. So yeah, it helps it. This would have a little bit of a highlight on one side. And the top of the table would have a little bit of a highlight along the top part, and it's kind of dry brushed again. Same with in here, just dry brush. A little bit here. Oh, sorry. Dry brushed. And you can do that with the wagon wheel too. Little areas. A bit of dry brush. Doesn't take much. And the more layers you put on, the better it looks. Okay. I think I need a little bit in here. Oh, my dogs are shedding and they're driving me nuts. I got fur all over the place. Look at that. Okay. Maybe a little bit more on the tree here. A bit of a highlight from the sun hitting it. You could do it on the limbs here, a little bit here and there. Don't put a lot, but I would put some for highlights, depending on what you think would be showing. You can go in, do all kinds of stuff. Now, I have my Poscas. These are very, very small nib, 0.7. Now, I'm going to take a pencil first, though. I don't know if I'm going to put homemade. I don't think it will fit in there now because this is a little different. I didn't use my traceable. I just kind of did it on my own. So I'm probably going to put just 5 cents here. That. We can do those though with a Posca. So I'm going to take a white Posca. Shake it a little more. I don't know if this one's going to work. Oh yeah. Okay. So we just want to outline parts of the lemon as the rind, because it's, and then just put a few lines in for the sections of lemon. And just going to put a highlight on this lemon here. This one's almost, yeah, it's not doing it. Let's see. Might have to just use paint. A little bit of a highlight there. Out of my, if this one will work. Let's just darken the inside maybe. I'm going to add some yellow to this umber color. Some white. And just here and there in the inside of the lemon. You can add little dots. I'm going to just put a little bit of shadow under there. Not much, just a bit. Hey, Ray. They're cute. Let's put some shadow under. Now I'm going to take Payne's Gray again. Some medium, glazing medium. And it would be underneath here. That a little denser in the center, or a little darker. And underneath that wheel, could be a little darker. It's just Payne's Gray. That. And then let's put a few bits of grass. So sap green. I'm going to put a little bit of white with that, I think. Just right in here. Or it could be a bush, whatever you want to make it. That. Okay. Let's bring it out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. There we go. Now let's give that a dry and we'll see if we need anything else. They look a bit wobbly. You could strengthen them up for you, Dorothy. Let's do a little bit of Posca maybe. Let's see. We have this brown. Dorothy thinks that this canopy's going to take a tumble. Kathy, what do you think? A little more sturdy looking there, Dorothy. Let's darken this up a little bit. It's much better. Okay. One thing I think it needs is a little bit of Payne's Gray glaze again in some areas here. It's a little dark under the canopy in here. So let's darken this a little bit with Payne's Gray. So I'm just taking this glazing and adding it to some of this. That way, looks a little darker. some areas. You don't have to do it all, but right around the, right underneath this, though, I think it could use it. That. And you could always do a little bit here and there outside there. Just darkens that up a little bit. All right, I think it's done. You could go in with markers and really do a bunch of detail, but I think that's pretty good. Maybe one thing. Let's put a little bit of highlight just on some of these lemons here. Just to give them a little bit of oomph. All right. Okay. I think it's done. It's cute. So what I'm going to do is I'll give that a coat of varnish on there or matte medium, whatever. And then I'm going to use these. I have a bunch of them now. And I'm going to use them as book covers. I think they would be awesome as a book cover. So what do you guys think? Do you think they'd make good book covers? They're sturdy. You could make the accordion style book covers with them. Isn't that a great idea? I think it would look really cool. So maybe I'll put some together and sell them. I could just give you the book covers, or you could have the whole book with the paper and everything. I think they're cute. All right. So I'll let you guys go, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope your weather cooperates for you, and we'll see you again on Tuesday. So have a good one, everyone. Don't forget to be creative. Bye for now.